When looking to buy a home in Southwest Florida, you need to understand that property taxes can impact your overall cost of homeownership and how these taxes work. While Florida's property tax rates are generally lower than in many other states, there are still important considerations and nuances that could affect your budget. First, Florida's property tax rates are lower compared to many states, but this doesn't mean they are insignificant. On average, Florida's effective property tax rate is around 0.83% of the property's assessed value, which is below the national average of approximately 1.1%. However, this rate can vary depending on the county, city, and any special assessments that may apply. For example, Lee County typically has an average property tax rate of around 0.75%, while Collier County has a slightly higher rate averaging around 1.03%. This is due to the area's higher demand for real estate and more expensive homes. Second, property taxes in Florida are based on the assessed value of the property, which may not always align with the market value. The county property appraiser determines the assessed value by evaluating the property's characteristics, location, and recent sale prices of comparable properties. The market value, on the other hand, is what buyers are willing to pay for the property. This distinction is important because the property appraiser's office determines the taxable value based on this assessment, which can be different from what you paid for the home. If the market value is higher than the assessed value, your property taxes may be higher than anticipated. Conversely, if the assessed value is lower than the purchase price, your tax bill may be less. Third, let's talk about homestead exemptions. For permanent Florida residents, the homestead exemption is one of the most important tools for reducing property taxes. This exemption allows residents to exclude up to $50,000 from the assessed value of their primary residence for tax purposes. The first $25,000 applies to all property taxes, while the remaining amount applies only to non-school taxes. This can result in significant savings, particularly in high-demand areas where property values are rising quickly. Additionally, Florida offers a Save Our Homes cap, which limits the increase in taxable value of a home to 3% per year or the rate of inflation, whichever is lower. This cap ensures that homeowners aren't hit with large property tax increases as property values rise, providing long-term tax stability. However, this cap applies only to primary residences, and properties that are used as second homes or investment properties are not eligible for these benefits. Now let's talk about tax portability.